Hello, I will be sharing some practical information on how to use Git in a team. This video is primarily made for my own teammates, but if it helps others, then that's great news. I'll provide all the comments used in the comment section, so you can skip right ahead there to see what contents I would cover. One prerequisite before we start is that you guys need to ensure that you have set up your SSH key in Git. This will prevent any authorization issue that you may have. I will have a link in the comment that shows you how to set it up in under 1 minute. Alright, so let's start. So as we are going to start from the very basics, I should teach you how to clone the repository. So click on the code part from GitHub, and in the HTTPS tab there is this link. Just copy the URL of that, open an empty folder and open Git Bash there. Then simply write git clone and paste the link. Alright, the cloning is complete. I can close this now. I would rather use the VSCode terminal one. So now I can just open this folder with VSCode, then open Git Bash in VSCode terminal. Alright, so as you can see, we're currently working in the main branch. To see what branches we're working with, we use the command git branch. This only shows you the branches that you are working with locally. But if you observe, in our remote branch, we have more than one branch. We have Ben, we have A, we have Niloy, we have Sakib. We also have a hidden branch called Head, which basically takes us to the previous commit. Well, I'll go over it a bit more at the end of the video. Alright, so how do we also list these remote repositories? So for that, we use git branch A. I would suggest using this command most of the time. Alright. So how Git handles switching to a new existing branch, you would first have to create that branch, and then Git would populate that branch with the contents from the remote repository. But we do not have to do all that. There is a very nice abstraction that Git has made, which is simply git switch and then the branch name. So git switch to Sakib. You don't type this remote/origin, you just write git switch Sakib. This will switch me to the Sakib branch. One good practice is that whenever you switch to a new branch, you should do git pull. Obviously, we just cloned the project and no one else is working on this repository. That's why we are already up to date. But it's a very good practice to pull regardless. Alright, now I will teach you how to sync up your remote repository with a local repository after making some change in the local. So for now, I'm going to create a new file. The name of the new file is going to be new file 1.js, since we already have a new file. And then we are going to write console.log. This is a new file named new file.js. Wonderful. So you can see this is untracked and it's green. So green basically means that your uh, GitHub does not have this file. This file only exists in your own system. And we'll also delete this file. Alright, that's gone. But if we check in source control, you see that we would also have to commit this change. There is that D symbol, the red D symbol, that means it's deleted. You definitely have to stage it and commit it for Git to delete that file from its repository. Right now it's only deleted from your local branch. Okay, then we all will also modify a file. So we go to sakib file.js. In console.log we have new message. Well, let's just remove all this and console.log. Hi Sakib. We have made it pretty clean. So we'll also have to commit this. So now we only have the changes in the local repository. We need to push this to Git. Well, Git experts will tell you to use the terminal to type git add dot or git add and then specific file names and do commit messages. But we are junior developers. We mess things up. So it's better to use the source control provided by your IDE. So as you can see, we have three changes. One is deleted, one is untracked, and one is modified. We can simply stage all this together with this command stage all changes, but that's not a good idea. Usually, it's better to commit one file at a time and write specific commit message for that file. So for example, this file was modified, so I'm going to stage this file and write a commit message such as message modified. And then I'm going to commit it. After committing, you have to push the commit for GitHub to actually update with this new change. So it has been updated. So then you also have to add these other changes to deleted and commit push. Then we stage this init commit and push. Alright, now we do not have any changes in our local repository. Everything is up to date. So your remote repository is up to date with your local repository. Alright, one thing I have to add is that mm, when you are working with a new branch, so first let me show you how to work with a new branch. You have to do, oh yeah, sorry, before that what I wanted to say was that how to actually write good commit messages. So different companies or different teams have different conventions. So this is the convention I used to follow. So like if I had to fix an issue in a code and when I have to push it to Git, I usually prefix it with fix colon and then the actual fix name. Then if I simply have to change the structure of the code, like maybe I changed a loop statement, sorry, a for statement to a switch statement, then I would use refactor and then the part of the code that's actually changed. Then there is other features here, like if I want to add a new feature, I use fit and then I add the feature name that's added. So you can follow this convention. It depends on your team, honestly. For our team, we are going to use this convention. It will help us a lot during the March progress. All right. So how do you create a new branch? So right now, what I showed you previously was just switching to an existing branch. Now I'm going to teach you how to create a new branch. So for example, if I want to copy the contents of if I want to start from the main branch, not from Sakib branch. Sakib branch and main branch is not the same, as we have already added a new file, like new file, and then there is we modified this file, we deleted one file, like so. It's different from the main branch. So I'm going to switch to the main branch. It's switch main. All right. So as you can see, those files are gone. We only have contents from the main branch. After switching, remember I told you to git pull. All right. After git pull is done, then I want to create a new branch that starts from the contents of this branch. So it basically clones this branch contents. So for that, I'm going to do git switch dash c, which basically means create, and then the branch name, which can be well YouTube demo or just YouTube. Yeah. So now we have a new branch called YouTube, and we have switched to that branch. And YouTube branch, as you can see, it copied the contents from the main branch. So main branch was our starting position because we created this branch from main. If we created a branch from Sakib branch, it would start from the contents of Sakib branch. So it would follow the history of Sakib. All right. So I want to show you how merge works. So for that, uh, first I'm going to write a very harmless merge which will not have any conflict, and then I will show you a merge where conflict does occur. Alright, so I'm going to create a new file. Since we already had new file 1, I'm going to create a new file .2.js, and then read console.log a message. This is a new file 2.js. Alright, and then we add this. So you can add it from here again, from the source control, add a message, new file 2 init. Alright, so you cannot directly git push when you're working on a new branch. You first have to publish the branch, and then you have to commit the change. So usually if you just press this button here, it takes care of all these problems. If you are using the terminal, you would actually have to set the upstream, and then you would have to push. Okay, so this has been updated. New file is now synced with our remote repository. Okay, so now we want to update our Sakib file. Like we added a new feature which is called new file 2. We want to add this feature to our Sakib branch. So how do we do that? First we have to switch to Sakib branch. Git switch Sakib, and after we have switched, close this file. Right. After we have switched to Sakib branch, we have to pull the new feature from YouTube branch. So that's why we are going to use the git merge command. So git merge, and then YouTube. I'm actually not sure if it would be completely conflictless, because we took a snapshot of main, not in Sakib. So maybe I can show you both cases here. So git merge YouTube. Okay, thankfully there was no conflict. But we have the new feature here. So we have new file 1, new file 2, and we have all our remaining files which remained unchanged. So it's really good. I mean, the merge was very easy to do. And after the merge is complete, you simply do git push. Alright. So now I want to show you how to handle a conflict. So I'll go back to the YouTube branch. I went to the YouTube branch. I have to pull. Alright. After I pulled, I'm going to change. Actually, will a conflict happen in that case? I'm not really sure. Alright, yeah, we can use this method. So let's say I'm also going to create a new file. Uh, Instead of that, I'll just change an existing file. That might be better. So in this file, we are in Sakib file, and we are going to change the first line of the code. We have alert hello Sakib. We'll change that to a console.log message. Console.log hello. We simply add it to Git. I'm basically committing with the terminal right now, just to save some time. Okay, so now if I switch to my Sakib branch, do remember this, we have console.log hello and console.log goodbye. This is different from our Sakib branch, so let's see that. It's switch Sakib. Oh, sorry. It's switch Sakib. Right, as you can see, the file is different, right? We do not have the other console log file. So let's merge it. What happens now? So git merge YouTube. Alright, now we have a conflict because Git cannot decide who is correct. Is the YouTube branch correct or is the Sakib branch correct? We have to manually handle this. So do we accept the current change? You can play around with it. So this is what was already existing. This is the incoming change. This was from Sakib branch, sorry, from the YouTube branch. Or we can combine them, accept both changes. So in this case, I will use both of them. So this is fine. I will simply do Control Save. Save is done. Then git push. Oh, sorry. I have to write a commit message. Let me show you with the terminal. So simply stage it. Now you can see this is modified. It's showing us the merge has been resolved. So whenever, like previously when we merged, we did not have to write a commit message because there was no faults. But right now there is a problem in the merge. We had a conflict, so we have to write a commit message for it. So merge branch YouTube into Sakib. All right, seems like a good commit message to me. Simply do continue and push. And great, we have fixed the merge conflict. So if we look into this, Sakib, okay, file.js. As you can see, it's the same as in our local repository. Alright, great. So we have discussed about how to fix merge conflicts. Uh, there are some other comments, but they are not as important. Oh, one thing I do have to say is how to go back to a certain commit. So one of the key reason to use GitHub is that you can go back or you can use the time machine feature. So you can go back to a certain commit. But how do we go back to the certain commit? Well, for that you use the command git log dash dash one line. Yeah. So this is the head branch I was talking about. So if you just want to go back to the previous commit, you can use git. Sorry, not this. Yeah, you can use git switch, and usually it's a good idea to work on a new branch when you are looking back in the past. So it's a very good idea to do so. Sorry. So usually from git log you copy and hash. uh, Bugged out last time. Let me try again. Git log. Git log one line and then git switch and detach to the hash. Yeah, sorry. It's not very often that I use this command, so I also do not remember it that well. So let's say if we want to go back to this history, we copy the hash of this. Copy the hash. We'll open another terminal or Git Bash and try to navigate to that terminal with a new repository. Sorry, with a new branch. So the it's going to be git switch c sakib 2 and then the hash. Alright, yeah. So this is going to be the in the message, the command, sorry, to go back into the past. So as you can see, we have created a new branch, and right now we're looking back into the past. It has all the information that was in Sakib branch during this period, and this is a this only exists in the branch called Sakib 2. So this is usually the preferred way to look back into the past. But if you just want to reset everything that you are working on that you haven't committed, one simple way is to use git checkout dot. This will basically remove all the local changes you have done. There is also git reset hard and hash. This one will not create a new branch. So in the hash, I would simply have to type this, and if I enter it, it would basically take Sakib branch back to the past, but I will not have the information that I had. So this is not a very good commit. It's usually better. Sorry, it's not a very good command. It's usually better to switch to a new branch and look back into the past from that branch instead of changing the current branch. All right, I feel like that's about it. There isn't anything else that is required to know at this point in time. Well, there is the git ignore file if you are not aware of this. So usually if I create a new file here, .git ignore, Git will ignore all the files that start with, for example, this. If I add this in the file, it would basically Git will basically exclude all the files that start with the name .env, and this is the wildcard character. So everything that comes after this does not matter as long as it starts with .env. Git is not going to include it, like it's not going to stage it ever. So it's very required. The git ignore file is very required to keep your environment variables safe. I guess all of us have worked a lot with Node.js or React, and we should know about this already. All right. So I can't really recall if I explained about Git stash, but usually you would use Git stash when you are not ready to commit something. So let's say um, you are working on the login feature right now, and your friend asked you to switch to his branch and do some change to his branch quickly, but you would lose all your progress if you switch to his branch unless you commit your current progress. But since your code is also not very good, you are not ready to commit it. So in that case, you should do git stash. This will save all your current progress in a certain part of the memory, and then after that you can once you use git stash, it will also remove all the changes you had made, and after that you can switch to your friend's branch and help him out. And when you return back to your own branch, you should do git stash pop. That will bring back all the changes that you had before you git stashed. Well, that's about it. I don't think you need git stash much, especially if you are pulling every time you switch to a new branch. You should not have these issues. So yeah, that's about it. If you have any more questions, do let me know. I will try my best to help. All right, laters.